So the dude's father is dead. Those mushrooms? The dude's father is dead. And I suppose we have to figure out how he died. Nice flowers. Not really sure what I'm looking for, to be honest. Thick glasses. Myopic, inexpensive glasses. Okay, they're cheap ones. How can you tell? I can't really tell the difference between expensive and cheap glasses. I mean, dirty collar. I mean, even his collar is dirty, so he works like he's a serious gardener. His crotch is not a clue. Gardener's hands, right.
Albert told us about the tragic death of Mr. Dunn, the late director of Kew Gardens.
Tragic indeed. His heart attack was quite unexpected.
Thank you, Mr. Hamish. We shall continue our investigation.
Avoiding our eyes when he said that. Interesting. Alright, so we're back here at the main entrance. Oh, look, there's a map. Okay, here we go. Alright, you are there. Oh wow, it's a big place. Director's office, cloakroom, laboratory, reserve farmhouse. So we were there. We were in the colonial collection. We were in the water lily greenhouse. We were in the farmhouse. We came back to this place. So this is quite a big place. Look at that. So we need to like walk all the way around nursery, seed house, ventilation system, and then dry tropics before we complete a full cycle.
Director's office, cloakroom, and laboratory.
Of the
farmhouse. Reserve.
A full cycle of the gardens.
Nursery. Colonial collection.
Just in case you can't read.
Water lily greenhouse.
Sherlock Holmes is going to read for you.
Dry tropics.
What about these lakes, though? That's also interesting.
Ventilation system. Seed house. A map of Kew Gardens.
This is an object of interest? Really?
Locked.
Alright, we can't ransack their offices. Look at the paving on the ground. What interesting paving, am I right? The scallops. And it's not just decoration either. The way the scallops are laid out, it means that the stones interlock in a way so they don't slip as easily. So imagine if you have like a square paving pattern. You can kind of like slide the entire set because everything, like in a square pattern, because everything lines up. The whole thing can just slip along the lines, but you see how here with the scallop pattern, the lines don't line up, right? There's no like if there's a square pattern, there will be like there'll be lines going straight across the entire pattern, and so it can slip. Whereas here, they buttress against each other, all the stones, and so then with this paving pattern, the stones don't slip as easily. If that makes sense, does that make sense? So like if one of these stones were to slip, like where would it slip to? Like there's like none of the lines line up with the other lines. So the scallop pattern not only does it look interesting, but also it's more robust as a paving pattern. More complicated to pave, of course, unless you're well practiced.
Locked.
Okay, that's locked as well. Watson. Never mind. Oh, now he steps back. Thanks, Watson. What is going on? What is going on? What is... Nothing's there.
Nursery.
Nursery. So what looked like water areas in the map are actually just grass. Huh.
Locked.
Oh, this is locked as well, really? Can we just grab a key off someone? So the nursery is also locked. What are these things? Alright, nothing else is there. Map of Kew Gardens. So now we're on this side, okay. And then there's a seed house, there's a ventilation duct up there.
Locked.
So the ventilation system
Seed house. Locked.
is on the other side of the seed house.
There is a smell of burning.
Oh, really? There is a smell of burning. Well, your garden's on fire, guys. Bad news. Does it matter if I... Well, let me just look at the fire. I'm assuming the fire won't spread. Fireplace. Broken pot. Is that the broken pot we're looking for?
The symbol is not from Kew Gardens.
It's a Chinese word.
A protective mask.
Okay, what am I looking for? What am I...
Someone set it alight, but it did not burn. The plants were set alight fairly recently. Some have not completely burned.
These are the ones that were stolen. These are the things that were quote-unquote stolen.
A broom handle was half burned.
This is the stolen exhibit. Look at that. That's the carnivorous plant.
A door handle? Why would anyone throw such a thing in the fire? The door handle to the colonial collection and that of the fireplace are made of the same material. The remains of a picture frame.
This is evidence that has been destroyed deliberately. Okay. Well. That's not very subtle. Not doing a very good job of destroying the evidence. The ventilation system is open air, that's interesting.
Locked.
Alright, dude.
Seed house.
He stops walking when he talks. Pots.
A water tank.
Alright.
A ventilation system. It should regulate the temperature of the staff buildings. A ventilation system. It should regulate the temperature of the staff buildings.
Object of interest, but we can't mess with it just yet. Alright, let me just keep walking around. Let's just keep walking around until we've seen the whole garden. Can't walk through there. What's going on? An invisible wall, interesting. Can't walk into the pond. And there's nothing out here. Alright. So there's the savannah thing, which is here. Alright. Nothing is in this room.
Dry tropics.
Dry tropics. It's quite dry. And it's quite tropical. Watson, would you like to sit on the barrel cactus?
These flower pots are beautiful. They are in...
Oops.
The symbol is not from Kew Gardens.
Okay. The symbol is not from Kew Gardens? That's the second one now. Do they borrow plants from other gardens to exhibit? Watson, would you like to hug this cactus? Alright, there's nothing else in here that I can see. Interesting trusses, decorative.
Dry tropics. According to this, they have light and moisture control in some parts of the building.
Yes, yes they do.
Water lily greenhouse.
Alright, so we've looked at more or less everything there is to look at. Let me deduct. That's it, I have two things. I will spend all that time walking around, there's two things. Perform an autopsy on Montaigne Dunn. The death is suspicious. Why had he forced the door of the Colonial Collection room? Why had someone clean and empty the room? Was it a trap or a simple accident? Perform autopsy. Right. I search archives, search archives, search archives, and Scotland Yard for the autopsy. Let me just search archives before we go to Scotland Yard. Okay, search archives. Rare plants botany. Chemistry, poison toxins, criminal martial arts, math and symbols, that's not it. Not newspapers. Art and architecture, science, technology, history, medicine, botany, exotic plants, 1 4. These plants have a certain toxicity in common, more or less variable. Deonea carnivorous, Carlina inebriare, Florum diabolica, Prunus serotina, Chromolena odorata, Heliumphores tapius, Biblis genesea violacea, Darlingtonia, Cracoccephalotus. Only the first three can be dangerous to humans, particularly Florum diabolica, but only under very specific conditions. The plant should react to a process of aggression against which it will issue deadly spores. Oh. So they drop... Wow. So you put a pebble in the grate of the ventilation system. You turn off the ventilation system, or you mess it up somehow, so that when he comes in to investigate the ventilation system, opens the grate, the rock drops onto the plant releases a toxin and it kills him.
Here it is.
Amazing. What else do we need to look up? Symbol of the broken pot. Symbol on a broken flower pot found in the backyard. The symbol is not from Q. This glyph means divine, if I'm not mistaken. Does it? It doesn't... Is that even a word? I'm Chinese, and I don't recognize that word. I'm not sure if that's even a word. Marks and symbols. The Divine Syndicate. The Divine Scholastic Syndicate for Vegetation Veneration. The members of the syndicate worship Traywan, the God King. They strive to obtain spiritual peace and release themselves from the material world, so generous donations are appreciated. No good.
Here it is.
Release yourself from the material
The
world.
Divine Syndicate is not a supplier to Kew Gardens. Besides, there is no address here.
Symbol on the flower pots found at Kew Gardens. The pot did not belong there. Yes, how would I know what that is? Marks and symbols. London Garden Supplies. Seymour's Garden Equipment and Supplies. We are a premium supplier for all your landscape gardening and timber requirements. Full range supply and delivery of sand, soils, mulches, pots, and anything else you may need. 3 Bullerton Road, London.
Here it is.
Alright, well, more places for us to visit. The bees are gone. The bees... Watson, what are you doing? Don't look at that woman.
Someone should take Toby for a walk.
Oh,
Have
really?
you found something interesting?
Oh dear, Toby. I wasn't aware that you were Watson's new literary agent.
Oh, wait. Is the dog eating one of the books? It's eating a book. Alright, well, the dog is enjoying the book. Scotland Yard. And while we're going there, let us look at Dunn was trapped, deadly plant stolen. Okay, apparently that's not a thing. Alright, I'm gonna perform autopsy.
I asked Inspector Lestrade to take Montague Dunn's body to Scotland Yard.
It's ready for autopsy then.
Montague Dunn to Scotland Yard. Wait a minute. Dunn's belongings.
A
Pen.
beautiful feather pen of a good make.
I don't see any feathers. Club card. City of London Club number 165, Mr. Montague Dunn.
A membership card for the London Crest Club.
London Crest.
This watch is of great value.
Alright. Well, it wasn't stolen from him. To Mr. F. Wayne, director of Wayne & Sons Printing Company, my friend, your posters for the great exhibition at Kew Gardens are very beautiful, but it is surely unnecessary to mention all of the staff. My name alone will be sufficient, Montague Dunn. But it is surely unnecessary to mention all of the staff. My name alone will be sufficient. Really? Really? Oh, okay. Unnecessary to name all of the staff?
Locked.